then there would be more pressure per square inch to the mat, so you won't have to push as hard.
That's a great pro tip. To soften the sound, the hard pinging that these sheet metal cargo vans can make when going over bumps and when gravel hits the sides, and also just the acoustic quality inside can be a little tinny. In order to soften all of that, it's not soundproofing. You're not eliminating the ability to hear sound from outside or others to hear sound from inside. It's changing the tone of the sound against the sheet metal. The trick for that is KillMat or other sound deadening products. And what they do is they change the surface tension on the metal. What that does is it makes the sound of something when it hits the metal change.
A much lower frequency. They use these products also when they're doing sound systems in cars. You hear those cars that go down the road rattling away with the bass shakers going, the cars are vibrating. They should have these in them, and then they don't sound like that. You just hear the bass without the rattling of the vehicle. So this product here is KillMat. It's a sound attenuation product. Basically, you put it on all the large panels in the van, stop it from sounding like a tin can. So it's self-adhering. You peel the back off, stick it up, and use a little roller and apply a lot of pressure and roll it flat. So it starts out looking a lot like chiclets, and you want to flatten those out as much as you can with the roller, and that's how you know that you have it adhered properly.
They'll actually look flat, so you'll see when you look at it that they've pressed down.
So installing the KillMat on all the panels doesn't take terribly long to get them all stuck up there, but it is going to take a little while to get them all rolled out. You can probably get a van done in an hour or so, and just it's a bit of physical effort. You might need to take a break when you're rolling them out. If you could get a roller that's a little narrower than this, so that way you have less surface area on it, you'll be applying more pressure per square inch to the mat, and then there'll be more pressure per square inch to the mat, so you won't have to push as hard.
That's a great pro tip. Is this the roller that came with it?
This didn't come with a roller.
It didn't come with the roller.
No.
So these were ordered on Amazon, and they did not come with a roller, so you got your own roller.
Yep.
And a shorter roller would make the pressure more concentrated. Yep. So that you wouldn't have to roll as much space.
Right, you wouldn't have to. You're right. You'd be rolling less at once, so it'd take longer to go over the whole panel, but less force you'd have to apply.
So it'd be less fatiguing.
Yes.
Got it. Great tip. So how long is that roller so people know what to get that would be smaller?
4 inches.
4 inches. So smaller than 4 inches is what you're aiming for.
Yeah, I think it'd be like a 2-inch roller. 2-inch seam roller.
Here we go. The great reveal. All right, what we're looking at here is the Coroplast liner on the sidewalls of this Ford Transit cargo van. Now, the Coroplast liner is fastened into the metal with these little plugs. So David, the carpenter who is doing this build out with me, he's gonna show us how to detach them so that you can remove the liner from your van and see get to what's behind it. So everybody, this is David. And David is a carpenter who built out, as you may recall, Supriya's minivan and has built some other cargo vans. Now, David is going to show us how to take these plugs out. And what you can see here is there's the plug.
There's a groove under there, slot that slides into. You pop the head
Move this little pin out. Pull that out of the center, and then put it under the head itself.
Oh.
Pop it out, and these things act as a drywall anchor. That compresses when it's pushed in, and then when the center pin is put into it, it expands it out so it doesn't pull through.
Oh, and then you can reuse them too.
Yep.
All right, this particular plug here has an actual screw head on it. So it requires a star bit screw. So you might need to be sure that you have some star bits on you if you're doing this project. Okay, so we come up with a cheat here because there weren't any star bits on hand. So this is actually an Allen wrench that is working just fine. Yes! Here we go, the great reveal. Ta-da! Look at that. That is a great little pocket for insulation. This is the part of the side of the van, and you can see there's already indentations where windows from the factory would be put in if that is what had been ordered. But you can also buy aftermarket windows and plug them in there as well. Then you have some holes here as well. There are lots of holes of different sizes and shapes all throughout these cargo vans in the ribs for being able to put in components like lights and wiring and plugs for liners and so forth. All right, we are off and running. Now we have exposed all of the walls in the van, and Dave is going to show you some important things to consider about your metal walls in your cargo van.
When I was removing the walls, they do come with some substructure clips for the panels to go onto. These here clip in and clip behind these green things, so that's another step you're going to have to remove. And there was one metal bracket that was up in the front, mounted to a couple of metal clips that I have here for storage, but they clip into the holes in the van and have, once again, those star head bolts, and that was to catch the edge of the panel. And you can leave that there if you want to reattach to the same spot, but we're removing it for our purposes. And so when removing panels like that from the van, you're going to need a flathead screwdriver and a set of the star screw Allens.